Hey, people, we got a good old show for you today. Again, 90 days. 90 days. Bitch. What the hell is going on? What kind of game have we got going on here? Up, get up to the get up to the finish line and you quit. You got to run through the finish line, boy, because people don't trust your butt no more. That's the worst thing he could have done. 90-day suspension. If you're going to do this crap, you should have just got rid of the thing completely and been done with it. And just brought your fight with China and stuff and left the rest of them folks alone. But you didn't. You did a 90-day suspension and you showing weakness. What you got, Titty?
I'm gonna tell you, we're in a ball of confusion.
Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
All right, people. Tia said we had a ball of confusion. Yeah, a ball of confusion. Old Temptation song, ball of confusion. What's up, Tia? What's the ball about?
You got people walking around. I'm talking about top officials with security guards all around them. They can't walk the streets. They can't even walk into the building without security guards. They got to have people all around them. Their lives are being threatened. You got you got these top hedge funds people. You know, everybody ain't able to have machines to do their job for them. A lot of these people love to play the charts and try to beat the charts. They don't know what to do. They don't think, but those people that's under the wire, they laughing and they making money because they can read the charts. I'm talking about really technical people. So there's some people that's making a lot of money out this deal, but there's a lot of people, retirement people, and people with their 401k people, they crying. Then you got these European people. I mean, I stayed up, I don't know, a couple of hours watching the European news, all kinds of news and stuff that's going on there. They confused, they upset, they mad. And I'm thinking that this man is loving it. He's saying, look how much power I got. Look how much power I got. All I got to do is say one thing or a couple of things and boom. Now you got Iran. They're going to do what they want to do. Now, my understanding, they ain't even got 50 million people there, but they all highly intelligent, and most of those people there want to be free from these different religious groups. So who knows what's going to happen in Iran? Because Iran, or Iran, however you want to pronounce it, you know, they hate the Jewish people, at least that's my understanding. And this Bibi, he knows it. So you got all these conflicts. Some of them are business conflicts, some of them are political conflicts, some of them are religious conflicts. And then I don't even want to go into America. There's so much division and stuff going there. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who they hate. Right here in this country, people just don't know. They hate, one minute they're hating the blacks, next minute they're hating the Latin people, the next minute they're hating the Asians. We're in a ball of confusion, bro. And the thing is, if you don't know how to get peace, if you don't have any kind of center for your rest, you might jump off the roof. You got people concerned about their jobs. When you're talking about threatening 2 million or so people's jobs, and then you talk about the corporate world, they're talking about doing all kind of lays off, and because of this ball of confusion. So they sit up here and they put this man back in office. He said everything he said he was going to do. He's doing it. I heard somebody say, I don't know how true it is, but they say he hired about 30 something people that work for Fox News, put them in his administration. I remember old Dr. Crawley. She was a Fox News person. They got her over some important thing, the State Department or some kind of thing that she's over now. They just interviewed her, for the job. So what the hell is going on? They allowed this man. He act like this is a TV show, bro. This is a TV program. We're living in a TV program. We ain't living under no serious people. And then the first thing all these TV people say, well, whatever he say, he know what he's doing. And they just as lost as he is. They're just as lost as he is. They say, well, we've been trying to get at China for the longest. Hell, you got 100,000 American businesses over there. And he talking about we hate China, bring your stuff back. Some people, man, they can't bring their stuff back. They ain't got no workers. Ain't no more textile workers. Some people gone. They done moved on with their life after all of these years. You ain't got no appraisal people. Them people gone. They done moved on with their life. When you gonna have people come up and start sewing again? All those little, what they call them, sweatshops? They gone. There's only so much automation you can do. Then now you're getting on the pharmaceuticals, talking about the pharmaceuticals got to come back. You got Germany, you got India, you got China. All of them are doing major pharmaceutical stuff. And we buying it from all over the country. You got Canada. We don't make nothing. And we don't even have the people that qualify to do a lot of this stuff no more. And he getting rid of all the smart people that we have in government to research this stuff to make sure that it's FDA acquired, required.
Um, I'm sitting here, Ted, and like I said in the pre-show, you you don't get up to payday and get fired. That man got up to payday and now he done got fired. Okay, but you turn around and instead of eliminating this crap completely, these people got 90 days that this thing is hanging over their head. What do you think these folks gonna do? I'm in charge of Canada. I'm in charge of the European Union. I'm in charge of all these other countries that he done threatened. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna leave this man alone. You know, if you're gonna do this, stop it, eliminate it. This is it. We're not gonna have any more tariffs. And just say it. No more. Then he might have been okay. But to leave a 90-day window hanging over their heads again, as far as trade is concerned, these people are not going to sit there and have this thing hanging over their heads. They are not. They are setting up, and I guarantee you, Ted, they are setting up their own trade stuff, and they are putting trade and stuff with these other people. And if he's thinking he's hurting China by putting all those tariffs and stuff on him, he is mistaken. These people in China are writing trade agreements with every country that he has put that reciprocal tariff on, that he has put a 90-day thing over. If he think he's going to win this, he has got to be out of his idiot mind. You don't do countries like that. These people have millions of folks here that are dependent upon them to negotiate trade agreements and stuff, long-term trade agreements, something that you can stabilize your economy with. You can't stabilize your economy knowing that this fool might turn around and in 90 days and enact that crap again. Because it's gonna come up when them 90-day time period get here, they're gonna be sitting around, well, what is he gonna do? Well, what is he gonna do? I'm not waiting on what you're gonna do. I'm gonna sit down here and everything and say, this is it. We are done. We're gonna figure out some other kind of way to get around him. And I don't believe that he's going to be able to get this country straightened back up again. I really don't. He is people don't trust him. You have to have trust, man. I'm not going to sit here to you and have an agreement and stuff with you if I don't trust you. If I don't trust you and stuff and everything, I'm gonna always be cautious and stuff about it. I'm gonna treat you with a long handle spoon. Get what I wanted from you, but I'm not going to trust you anymore. And he has lost the trust and stuff of the other countries and stuff outside of these borders. Matter of fact, he probably done lost trust of these companies and stuff out there because they're looking at the same thing we looking at. A 90-day suspension. Why don't you just get rid of the thing completely? If you're going to do this, get rid of it. You don't keep jacking people around. Well, he didn't jack them around. What? At least this is the third time. Third time, and he's only been in office 100 days. He done jacked them around 3 times. 3 strikes, Ted, and you what? You out. Can't keep doing that, and that's a big, big, big problem. Internally, inside our country and stuff here, they just now show areas and stuff in Ohio along the Ohio River, the place and the people's properties have flooded.
Ohio.
Right in Ohio. These folks, as people, homes are underwater. We don't have FEMA to help anybody anymore. These states and stuff who have, and it looks like somebody who was on high decided that he was going to put some devastation on these Republican controlled
Mm.
governors
Uh-oh.
states. That's what it looked like. I'm telling you, it looked like it. he,
Oh.
he done put a famine on some of these folks and stuff and everything to get them to
Uh-oh.
realize what's going on here. Because that's what's going on. Ohio, Republican governor. Arkansas, Republican governor. The only one that doesn't have a Republican governor, but they might well have it, is Kentucky.
Mm.
And then we still got North Carolina, and these folks up in these mountains still haven't got their homes and stuff rebuilt. Still haven't got the roads and stuff rebuilt there. And nobody's saying nothing. And now they got a flood going on in Ohio. What are these folks gonna do? And he hasn't said crap about them people. He ain't opened his mouth. Well, how they doing? Can you send somebody down there to help these people? Those are the ones who put you in office. And he's throwing these people to the wolves. He's throwing them to the wolves. He hasn't said a word about it. He hasn't come up there or did anything about these folks down there that they've been flooded out. It's a horrible shame to you. A horrible shame. Now, we all thought that Elon Musk was going to be out of the picture and he was going to be gone. Well, he done start messing with the federal government. He done Trump and ran him away. Now, guess who he picking a fight with? Apple.
Really?
Yes, sir. He got a fight going on with him. And the reason why he got a fight going on with him is because Apple is putting some competition on his Starlink. They got their own satellite service that they want to use for their phones. They were negotiating with him for Starlink, but the fool wanted to get into Apple's proprietary information and stuff about the iPhone so he can understand about that. And Apple told him, no, we ain't giving you that information. All we want you to do is let us pay for whatever we can for so our phones can connect up to satellite service in these areas out there that we're trying to sell our phones to. And he said, no, I want some of your information before I let you get into my Starlink service. So they said, forget you. And Apple put their own satellites up there. So now Elon is using some of his power with the federal government and to get some to push Apple out of the communication service and stuff and everything because he is not allowing them to get enough airwaves, enough signal strength and stuff out there in those other areas so that your satellites cannot communicate with the iPhone. Gonna be a big fight, and I have no idea who's gonna win. But Apple got a lot of money, $3 trillion company, and I don't see Starlink with $3 trillion. So we're
Well, he
gonna
got the
see.
government.
Yeah, we got the government, yeah, but Apple still got a lot of power out there, and they already told them we refuse to do this to allow you to get into our proprietary information and stuff that has something to do with our phone. All we want to do is get onto you all Starlink thing and allow us to access it so our people can use our phone. Whoa, a lot of stuff going on, Ted.
Well, what's happening. Who's going to run the world? Who's the big bad wolf? Is it going to be China or is it going to be USA?
Whoa, it's gonna be a fight, man. It looks like a big fight brewing here, buddy. Big fight brewing.
We know that China is spreading their wealth all over the world.
Absolutely.
The United States has been doing it, but it's been soft power.
They and they didn't stop. Mr. Man didn't stop. He didn't
Stopped
cut them.
all the soft
He didn't
power
cut
and
them funds off.
cutting the funds off. People hurting because they was getting used to receiving it. Spreading the supposed to be goodness around the world. And now China is actually going in and building stuff and investing in stuff,
They already
making
started.
deals,
They've been doing that.
contracts.
They've been doing that for a long time now.
Oh, they've been doing it for 50 years, longer than
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
the point is that their aggressiveness, they have learned the lesson. They have learned and stole so many good ideas and all kinds of technology and a lot, and they're smart themselves because they brought their people here to get educated, to learn. Now, on top of that, now just tell me this. How did North Korea learn IT when they're supposed to be isolated? They're running around here robbing all of these Fortune 500 companies, pretending that they workers, got false IDs and everything, and these people hiring them. So stupid. Who in the hell are they human resources? I'm trying to figure it out. And they sitting up here making all kind of money. And you know, these IT people, man, they making $7,500, $50,000. And they're doing this stuff all right over the phone. So they have to do visual stuff. You trying to tell me you can't locate these people? You supposed to be up on all that stuff. You don't know, you ain't got no investigators to find out to make sure that these people are legitimate American people or wherever they from. Well, they're doing the work. They probably are doing the work. They got all kind of data now from everything that was going on in America.
If I had to make a educated bet, Ted, I would probably be almost right that these companies that these North Koreans have invaded and gotten money and stuff out of it, millions of dollars in it. If you want to say this thing, they them recoup millions of dollars from salaries from these folks. I would almost bet that the North Koreans have hacked into their systems.
Mm.
They've already hacked into their systems, put these people and stuff into their systems, gave them credentials and stuff within their system and stuff and everything, and they probably walk right in and stuff and everything. And I'm so and so and so and so. If they look at their daggone computer screens and stuff, and I'd almost bet that their names, everything about them, and their false IDs or whatever has been sitting in that daggone system, and they couldn't tell, and they couldn't tell if it was real or not.
Mm.
And can you imagine them folks getting into their IT systems and working there for years without being identified? What kind of damage and what kind of information that they have gotten from about these companies? All their personal information, all that stuff, even their employees' information is probably sitting over there in North Korea on somebody's server. Everything about that company. And they probably can start doing big damage to them and stuff right now.
Mm.
I'd almost bet that that's what happened. That's how they got in there. They hacked their system and stuff, and then did what they wanted to do, inputted these people's information into their daggone systems and stuff, and they went to work. Some people are smart over there, buddy. Some people are smart over there. They're not no dumb folks. They're not here in the United States. They're some smart people. Now we got some dumb folks. Just as you can see, you just said that. He done put all these dumb people in charge. What they gonna do? Who they gonna tell anything about? How they gonna figure stuff out? They don't even know. They just as dumb as he is. You don't put
Well,
dumb people in charge.
well, here's the thing, and when I say dumb, I mean these people are not dumb in their field, in their educational knowledge of certain things, but to be political and business savvy and economic savvy on certain things, they are very dumb because there are
They are.
so many smart people.
They
I
are.
mean, deep, deep stuff. See, you can tell. Now, see me. I'm gonna put it like this. I understand a lot of stuff, but I can't articulate intellectual certain things. But if you read a lot of stuff and you try to put the dots together, you can figure it out. But these people, some of these people, they know how to manipulate, to underguard all kinds of stuff. These very smart people. And if you don't have those people in position to counteract all of this stuff that's coming at them, you can't stop. You just you don't know what's going on. You know, but I can connect the dots because if you read enough, you're gonna connect the dots. You're gonna realize what's going on here and what's going on there because there's so much that's going on. So these people, they cannot connect the dots. They don't understand the deep dive that these people know how to go through. I'm talking about the smart people that was in certain positions. And you got people that's been there for decades, they just throwing out the door. It's a crime shame, bro. These people spent their whole life doing certain things to serve the country, and they're gone. And then they put these unqualified people, not saying they dumb, they in their wrong field. You got to stay in your lane, bro. You don't just somebody come and offer me a job to run Apple. I said, are you crazy? I don't care how much money you offer me. I ain't doing that. I ain't gonna fake it till I make it on that. I might last 6 months before you know it, Apple gone. Well, I might last a year because I don't do nothing. I just let it go, let it do what it do. I'm just saying, stay in your lane, bro. And these people just take a job. Why you take a job and you know you ain't qualified? Can you understand? Can you explain that to me, Ed? Why would a person take a job or even give a job to someone who ain't qualified? We knew that Trump was not qualified, and they still gave it to him.
And they're doing his people the same way. They know that the National Security Agency head, uh, Gibby, or whatever her name is she not qualified? She is that she's way out of her league. They know that almost everybody that they put out there is not qualified. Now, the Commerce Secretary is worth $1 billion, but he's not a commerce expert. He's not. The Treasury Chairman, the Secretary, he got a lot of money, but he's not a person to sit down there and be able to guide the Treasury Department. He looks at the Treasury Department differently than you're supposed to be looking at. It is a public entity, not a private firm. We Now he does have some very smart people and stuff down there. That old boy that he put in there as the FBI director. He got some weird ideas in his head, but he's not dumb.
No.
He's a very smart person. Very smart person. He stuck that Secretary of State in there. That old knucklehead. He's not a dumb person, but Trump it cut his nuts. He doesn't have anything. he done, he done made a U out of him. He can't do nothing. He can't do anything. He doesn't have any power to say or do anything. Trump he just made him he done spaded him. He
This is
can't
what
do it.
this is what he's doing, right? This is what he's done. My opinion. I think he called Kamala Harris, called a bunch of ex-secretary of states, and they and asked for advice. This is what he's doing, and he's got a number of whoever he got around him, and he's trying to survive. That's all. He's just trying to survive so he can stick around. He know that he has to every time he talks, he got to give Trump a compliment. He got to suck that booty.
He got to. He got to
Got to
kiss
suck
that.
that booty.
He got to kiss that. He got to kiss it. He got to kiss it and make him seem like he's in charge.
That's it.
Got to do it. Now, I mentioned the FBI director for a reason. He kind of crazy. He come up with some crazy ideas, but he's a very smart man. And he even got into the FBI, and he hasn't done exactly what Trump wanted him to do. So what does Donald do? He took the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms out of his purview. He is no longer in charge of the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Agency. He gave it to the Army. So the Army Secretary is in charge of alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Now, he can't throw him out of the FBI just yet because he hasn't done what he wanted him to do. And you can tell by the fact that his folks are out there still doing what they need to do to protect the United States. And some of those things I'm pretty sure Donald wants him to do, he hasn't done yet. So old Cash might not be too far from being out of this job. I don't know, but we'll see. We shall see. All right. Our boys and the hoods and the robes up there, the nine sisters and brothers up on the hill. They have now started exercising their power again. So the lower court rules put these folks back, 16,000 probationary workers back to work. So the Donald says, well, we're going to let the big boys up there decide if we don't want to put them back to work. So we're going to not take them back to work. So our Supreme Court justice put out a halt. Hold on. Let's take this step and we're going to take the case up and see what's going on here. Well, the boys up there with the black robes decided that, we got a problem and stuff here. These people are being defended by the union. They are not unionized people. They are probationary. So they gave them an out. You don't have the legal authority to bring this lawsuit to this court. So now the probationary employee is going to have to go back and get them some attorneys and stuff and run that case back up there to the Supreme Court again with their own people, their own attorneys. So those 16,000 people are still sitting out there, don't have a job. Now, there are some folks who get mad, Ted, about the Supreme Court. They went ahead and said that Trump does have the authority through some law and stuff back in the 1700s to be able to throw the Venezuelan folks out of this country. But people that got mad. Supreme Court is running around there. People, read the ruling. They said he had the authority. That's the only thing they looked at. But they didn't read the whole ruling. It also stated that he can't throw them out of the country without giving them legal rights. They have a right to have an attorney. They have a right to question if it is the due process has happened to get them thrown out of the country. But the only thing that most of the people looked at was the Supreme Court says that he can do this. No, they didn't. Sometimes you have to turn around and, like we do sometimes, Ted, and read and understand what the heck going on. Now, there are some people, I don't care what I said, they don't, he gave Trump the authority. So the gentleman who's in Baltimore, who's sitting down there in the El Salvador jailhouse and everything, he has rights and stuff that they need to let him have. That if you bring the case back to the courts and said they took this man's rights, that he deserved to come back, then they can be able to, Supreme Court will be able to allow them to say, you need to go back down and get the guy because you violated his rights. But it's a big mess. The man's still down there. He might die in that prison before they get him out. Took him illegally. Sometimes you have to have a plan that if you file a case, you better be prepared to make sure that you cover all your bases because it may end up in front of those 9 dirty justices up there with some black robes. And you can't leave them and out into which they can say that you don't have the legal authority to do what you just did. The wrong people have filed the lawsuit.
Well, think about this, though, bro. I hear you saying that. But just like those people who was mistreated during Trump's era and they came back and these lawyers, you got these lawyers, bro, they slick. And they got millions and millions of dollars to these people. It was mistreated. Same thing's gonna happen. Same thing's gonna happen. These people gonna get rich. Government gonna have to give them millions and millions of dollars. Because these lawyers, they know the deal. The government, in my opinion, they overstep their boundaries because you have these underlings that wants to just mistreat people. They think they're back in the wild, wild west. So that's what's going to happen. And these people are suffering now. I can't even imagine what they're going through. I don't even want to imagine it. I don't even want to imagine. Yeah, you got some bad people out there and all that stuff, but then, you just grabbing innocent people. And then you think, I'm trying to figure out what are these, and what they should be doing. These people that they know better. They know better. What they're doing is not right. Just because somebody tell you to do something, you don't have to do it. If your company tell you to do something and it's against your values or against your principles, would you do it? Just because I got to get paid, I got to do it no matter what. I didn't quit a number of jobs because of that.
Well, just think of what happened in Los Angeles a couple of days ago.
What happened in Los Angeles?
Over 61,000 people dating back to the 1960s filed a sexual harassment lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles,
Really?
the county of Los Angeles. They have won a $4 billion suit. The county of Los Angeles has to pay out pretty close to $4 billion.
Where all of this come from? What is this about? I
They
didn't
filed
see that.
they filed a lawsuit against the county, a sexual harassment lawsuit. 61,000 people are involved in this lawsuit over a period that spans back to the 1960s. And now the Los Angeles County is responsible for pretty close to a $4 billion payout to these 61,000 people.
There it is. Got to do the right thing, bro. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I didn't even know about that.
Yep. When I first saw it, I couldn't believe it. But when I looked at it and stuff, I said, man, you're talking 61,000 people filing lawsuits against the county of Los Angeles for sexual harassment.
All I gotta say is, nobody's perfect. People make mistakes.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is that you can continue. You can't continue. One mistake. What was you said? Fool me once. So I'm just saying, because sometimes you thinking that, oh, okay, it won't hurt nothing, blah blah blah, and you do it, and you don't feel right. Something's wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
In your stomach, in your chest, you feel something.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do it again. Next thing you know, your heart and got hard. And now you just do it like it ain't nothing now.
Well,
But you knew from
now,
the get go it wasn't right what you did.
now you also said something that gonna follow through here for this whole daggone thing. Those attorneys who file those cases are going to get a whole lot of money.
Woo, 30%, 33% of that $4 billion.
So, boy, somebody,
They might even get more than that.
they got some law firms, man. They're looking for a big payday.
They looking for big paychecks.
Big paycheck, buddy.
That's their whole thing.
Yes, sir. Some of them can retire for the rest of their life now. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
can retire now.
Oh, yeah.
I can retire. I can go retire.
Oh, yeah. They'll pick up a $20 million paycheck easy.
Easy.
I'm talking about the group. Each of them get 20 million.
Yes, sir. They're going to get the bulk of that $4 billion. At least $1 billion is going to go to them attorneys.
Yeah.
$1 billion is going to go to them attorneys. Woo. Yep.
These people, man, see, that's the thing, man. You know, like a lot of people, what they say, weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning.
But the joy comes in the morning.
And
Weeping
we're
for the
talking
night.
1960s.
Yep, back to the 1960s. All dates back to the 1960s. They've been screwing people around since the 60s. 61,000 people,
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Those
probably,
are the ones that came forward.
right? And so you know that a whole bunch of other folks, because it's probably class action. So
Oh yeah.
a whole bunch of people can look to get some money now. Ooh, put my name in the pot too. And you
I wonder is it pending though?
and you're wondering who's going to pay this money out. Is Los Angeles County got enough money to pay this stuff out, or is the insurance company going to have to pay it?
Mm, that's a good question.
Some insurance company going to go broke if they got to pay that money out.
Well,
Hey,
hey, reparations. I'm gonna tell you right now, ours is over $360 trillion.
if we can get it,
Reparations now,
if we can get it.
$60 trillion right now, and there is a fund that's got over 150 trillion. So
Well, final word, Ted.
all I gotta say is, you know, when the ball of confusion comes, you know, reach, reach, reach deep down in your stomach, take a deep breath, and say, "This will pass."
Well, on on Trump's announcement, there has been a surge in the stock market.
Oh yeah, they playing games
It's
with
been
each
a
other.
surge in the stock market as soon as he made the announcement.
Yeah, they just playing games, bro, with money. That's all. They paper money.
So people, look out. Even though this man is an ignorant son of a gun, some of his words and stuff means a whole heck of a lot. But is it going to save the US of A? We don't know because he's in a knockdown, drag out fight with the big dogs over there in the Far East called China. And like we said earlier, I don't know who's going to win this fight, but it's a big one going on. Gonna be some damage on both sides because people don't come out of these daggone things and stuff without some scars. 400 and some $1 billion in trade with one country that comes import into our country.
And what we do, about 150, 200 billion, if that.
It's about 140, 100 and some $1 billion, yeah, over there. But we got a lot of companies over there still who doing business in that country. We got a lot at stake because they control 90% of some of our precious metals that come into the United States. And not only do they control it in China, what they are mining, they also in control of some of those mining areas over there in Africa also who have precious metals that these people over there in these countries and stuff have allowed China to be the person who distributes the precious metals is coming out of their ground because they done paid for it over there in their country. So we ain't got a whole lot of places to be looking for those precious metals.
That's why we want Greenland.
They ain't gonna get Greenland,
That's why we
and
want Canada.
and Canada ain't gonna give them precious metals. They done screwed Canada around too bad, man. Canada ain't ready to give them. I'll be I won't be surprised and stuff to see that they have I forget the name of this company and stuff, but there's a Chinese company there in that is based in Canada and stuff and everything, and
Really? I didn't know that.
oh yeah, and they've already started to sign contracts and stuff for a lot of their oil and for some of their precious metals.
You know, China's got the four largest banks in the world. One, two, three, four.
They can put some pressure on us, big time. Who gonna win this fight, Ted? I don't know. Anyway, people, the story continues. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.